have a panel discussion now. I request Vikas Manoria and Sabarinath and Mr. Vikas Maurya, Dr. Arnold and Andreas Spanner and Mr. Ganpati Raman to the stage.
Hello. Before I start the panel discussions, which will be very brief and open to audience, can we have a big round of applause? They put a lot of effort. That's good. That's quite nice to hear. Okay. Maybe I'll ask one question to each speaker before I move it to audience. I request them to be brief on the answers. I'll try to be brief on my question also. First to Vikas Manoria. Is there any way to check the code that is generated by Copilot and how it can be validated?
Okay, this is a question that comes very often as soon as we start presenting Copilot for engineering especially. Because yes, as I think all the speakers also mentioned regarding the AI hallucinations and all, using Gen AI comes with its own risks. So in our case, what happens is, the current scenario is that the code that is written can be tested through a separate software known as, what is that? Test suite. We have a TIA portal test suite wherein the written code can be tested. Now what is coming up in the future? In the future, this test suite will come as a AI agent. So you generate the program and the agent checks it for you and gives you a result whether everything is fine or not. So that's how it is going to be.
Thank you. Thank you, Vikas. I'll move on to the Red Hat ABB team. What are the challenges to embedding AI features in industrial application and what's the rate of open source there? Who will take this?
Yeah, okay, I start to answer on that. So industrial operations, as I said, they are like running very critical infrastructure where accuracy is very important, 24/7 operation is very important. So when we embed AI into it, of course, we need to put all the checks and balances that the output of AI is correct. It is not hallucinating, as you said. And we need to have a mechanism to kind of verify the outcome and before we apply to the core control operations. I mean, I'm talking in particular with the DCS systems, which is running the plants. So if AI and augmented operator use case, which I talked about, if that is producing a wrong outcome, suggesting a wrong set point to apply, this can be bad, very bad. And that's where we try to apply this verification of request, following from the NOAA. That's the standard, that how we can put in a human still in the loop to verify that request. And how do we run AI workloads? That's like whole digital environment at Genius where we do this. That's where exactly we use open source technologies. And that's where I think Red Hat can, or Andreas can now talk on that a little bit.
Thank you, Vikas. Yeah, so from the open source community has open source projects that actually do exactly this, verifying the output. So Trusty AI, for example, is one of them. And you can just download that project, run it, and then you can validate what the output of this LLM is, right? Hallucination is only a thing in generative AI, not so much in predictive AI. What we see, however, is that the most customers, they want a multi-model and a multimodal kind of AI where you have maybe an engine that predicts specific outcomes and then you have an LLM, a large language model, either as a user interface or as something that orchestrates your agents, as Vikas said earlier. And so this is all happening in the open source community. Just last week, before I jumped on the plane, I did one for the semicon industry. There's a specific model, large language model for the semicon industry. It's called Semikong, like King Kong, just Semikong. And so it's been basically trained on semicon specific information. And we can do that in manufacturing, industrial automation, just the same way. And then you can feed it with a RAG solution, retrieval augmented generation, and put your own documents in, and then you have a very safe way to start getting cracking with that AI topic in your organization.
Thanks a lot. More to Samrat before I say anything. or having worked on BHL some 15 years back, it's been fascinating to first users of OPC in those days to listen to OPC UA and cloud. I mean, it's great learning for me to see the kind of interfaces OPC has grown. What's the simplest way you think start building IoT use case for with UPC UA?
Well, to start with, it's maybe OPCU, as I told, right? It may look, yeah, so big. How can I really start? But the very good news is the starter kit is always available in OPCUA Foundation. You can just download the starter kits for IIoT, and it gives you instruction by instruction how to implement it. Yeah. And that's a great thing. I personally used it, and my team also used the interns from different colleges and all. I tell them to use that first, and that is really, really helpful. So I would recommend that. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I think we can parallelly start opening for delegate Q&A, because first session I did not allow questions, so now I'll open it. If there are no questions, I'll take forward with my questions. Okay. I think I have a few guys. Please introduce yourself. Be very brief on the question.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Myself, Pradeep Kumar from Nuclear Fuel Complex, Hyderabad. We have talked a lot about, since morning, all the 5 speakers have talked about digital twins. So I'm curious to know whether there are any software required to create that digital twin. What will be the roadmap or the steps involved in having a digital twin?
Who will take this? It's not part of this.
And also that co-pilot, whatever the engineering or the operations co-pilot, is it an add-on on the existing TI portal or any other
So I will take
new software as such?
Okay, the first topic is not actually pertaining to the presentations, but I'll try to answer it. Regarding the digital twins, this is now, I would say, quite a matured field. We have excellent softwares which will give you kind of perfect digital twins on almost every aspect. So maybe we can get in touch. I will also introduce you to the right people in Siemens, because this is a very big field, and practically every new, if you see Siemens acquisitions also recently, Altair and Dotmatics and all, they are all in the same lines of, acquiring companies which are very, very strong in digital twin technologies. So that is one. Copilot is an add-on to the TIA portal. So I think that was your question, whether it is an add-on to TIA portal. Yes, it is an add-on to the TIA portal thing. So both the co-pilots or operation engineering, it's available now for.
Thanks, Vikas. Anyone? A lot of questions.
Hello, I'm Deepak Sharma, and I am from manufacturing plant, cement plant. So, I'm the person who is doing industry as well as I'm doing doctorate in AI, how we can solve the industry problem with AI. So, I just want to know one thing, that as you show for the Siemens team, as you show the co-pilot, as a researcher, these tasks can be completed with the help of available pre-trained model with OpenAI and Copilot also, Microsoft also. So I just want to know what extra available in these engineering Copilot, because for example, the real-time data trading is a major task for any LLM system, because available data we can train, but the real-time data which is currently running, as sir talk about RAG, it can talk to real-time data, but training will take time again. Second question also, that for example, as an industry, we are using multiple OEM systems like ABB, Siemens, Rockwell, Schneider. So if we want to use that co-pilot, is it the mechanism that it can be utilized for all the OEM or only the Siemens specific?
So I will answer it, and maybe you can also add if you want something. One is the base of the Copilot will be somewhere. It is also something which is developed with Microsoft only, okay? Right? But it is more industry specific. What I mean by industry specific is that unlike the OpenAI system or the cloud system, you can do all these things in most of the open systems right now also. You can attempt actually, but you will never get a correct or an accurate result, because that system goes literally for kind of an internet scrapping. We call it as internet data scrapping. Open system, if you talk about temperature, it's very difficult for them to ascertain also whether we are talking about a body temperature or in industrial parlance the temperature means something else. So that relativity, that connectivity is not there in the open systems right now, and that is the reason these industrial grade AI comes into picture. It is all about the data sets on which you are training it on. Because, for example, in the cases of these co-pilots, they will be either trained on the data that is available within the house of Siemens, or it will be at the same time it will also be trained on whichever customer is using it. You know, their data, their competency, or their whatever is available with them. So the system does it. For example, if I ask my co-pilot, what is the IPL score? They will say, we don't know. Whereas in an open system, it is like, it will definitely give you an answer. Whether it is right, wrong, doesn't matter.
Anyone else?
And regarding the OEMs, I think right now we are with the Siemens TIA portal only. Yes. Right. Right now, this co-pilot is available with our system only, right now. But I was mentioning about the AI agents, right? And this AI agentic community also, that is, we will ultimately have an agent marketplace. So in all probability, within a few months, you will also see a lot of agents from almost every make coming together, because ultimately it will succeed only when there is close collaboration with everyone. The way it has happened in Industrial Edge, we started with Siemens, but now Industrial Edge, almost every other make of PLCs can be connected on a Siemens Industrial Edge platform. Right. So this is how I think this is also going to get developed.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jazina Aziz from BHEL. So my question is to Team Siemens, Mr. Vikas Manoria and Mr. Shabrinathan Sharavanan. First of all, great presentation, sir.
Thank you.
My question is, how do you see generative AI transforming the decision making in shop floor?
So the most important use case of a generative AI would be the co-pilots, okay, what we have just demonstrated. And the most important part of the co-pilots would be the AI agents which works behind it. They are the ultimate brain of the entire system. So we can say that the co-pilot is more like a smart assistant to the actual engineer, operator and all that. Maybe it will improve the productivity and all, but then it also depends upon us as to how much, again, that is my personal opinion, how much of decision making we want to give it only to the AI. Maybe some part of the decision making, for example, to find out the fault in the system, wherein the AI agent tries to go, the various AI agents try to collaborate and try to find what is the fault. Those decision makings can still be given to a co-pilot based system. But whether production related or strategy related decisions, where it lies, that depends upon organization to organization. But as I said, it is, it's a servant, or it is a assistant to us.
Hello. Next one.
Myself, Madhusudan Reddy from Propel Labs, Hyderabad. So again, question to the same team, right? So especially when we talking to the co-pilot, right? Our field technicians works on the field where network is the barrier, right? So if you are talking to tons of manuals where I need a help, can I talk without internet?
Yeah. So far what we have shown is the capability what we are running LLM in the cloud. But still Siemens is working as small language models or kind of something where it can able to run on-premise also. So what you mentioned is right. So most of our engineers go to remote and they need help more on the shop floor only. So it's a roadmap, but if you ask me right now, it is not available, but definitely it will be available in the future.
Yeah, I would like to add something on that. Being able to run your LLM on premises is absolutely crucial if you don't want to have to send your data to a provider based in US somewhere. And especially now with the current context, you're going to think twice about that. And Red Hat has been working very strongly towards being able to run your models on premises or even in the edge and providing solutions to optimize the infrastructure underlying your LLM or your small language model. So I invite you to look at an open source project called VLLM, which is an LLM compressor that will optimize that. Red Hat and Siemens are close partners, so I hope that in the future, this technology and the very cool things that Siemens has shown us are going to converge to offer you the best possible.
Last two questions, please.
Yeah, so my name is Praveen. I have a question for the Siemens Copilot team only. See the data, you're talking about a lot of data, right? And this data has IP attached to it, right? And most of the customers are very sensitive about the data. So how are you securing the data at the transit and data at the rest? And how you are ensuring or how giving that assurance to the customer back, that your data is not misused?
Okay, so I will take this question. There's a two-way to see it. If you talk about the operation Copilot, we are a partner with the Microsoft. To have a data privacy, we have a separate tenant in the cloud, so where no one can able to see apart from you. So that's where we are securing the data may not be seen by others, only by the you. And if you talk about engineering Copilot, as Vikas mentioned, we are working towards concept called industrial foundation model. What exactly it is? As a Siemens, we are expert. We know what manufacturing industry works. And we also running a multiple factories. We know the challenge. We have the data. So, Vikas also mentioned like, what is the temperature mean? It's a body temperature or you're talking about the machine motor temperature. So, the context of the machine should be very clear to the Copilot, right? That's where the industrial foundation models comes into picture, where it will make a difference between a normal and the industrial AI. So the data, the short to your answers, data what you are using is from our own factory and our own code, and we are using this as an extra knowledge base to the existing LLM. So that's where IP protection is taken care.
I'll take the last question, please, because we need to break for lunch. You can network.
Can I just add something? We actually got one of our partners in the room, Saga. Vashanti Lakshmi is the CEO, and they actually have a demo running here. There's a lot of interest. If you want to know how you actually build that and how it works underneath the covers, we've got the lead data scientist in the room, we've got the lead engineer in the room. Just come to the Red Hat booth and we can walk you through all the components and how it all works together, okay?
Thank you. This is Sumit from NTPC. Sir, you spoke about the industrial foundational model. So what I understand is the foundational model is the base for the large language models. LLMs got developed from foundational models. Now, and you also spoke about Microsoft collaboration with you. So just want to understand what is the Microsoft scope of work and your scope of work. So the large language model, I mean to say, this GPT, whether you are working on that and that has been fine-tuned to form your industrial foundational model, or you are developing an industrial foundational model from scratch on your data center, and say you spoke about the AI agent. So is Microsoft developing the agents for you and you have given your infra for them to host, or what exactly, which portion is Microsoft doing and which portion is Siemens doing? And sir, one adding question to ABB, you spoke about this SLMs running on the edge or implementation. So you make use of open source models, open source language models from the Hugging Face libraries, other things, or how is it for that matter? So these two questions.
Yeah, I will take this question. So there is no point of reinventing the wheel. So we are clear about, we are partnered with Microsoft for LLM, right? And we are using Microsoft as a partner to do it. And we are creating application out of it. And as you mentioned, we take the service from the Microsoft and we fine tune the model using RAG architecture. And we use our knowledge base to fine tune these models. And yeah, so agents also, we are creating. So we ourselves create the agents, but behind agents, the LLM is going to be there. So yeah. So behind the agent, it's LLM going to, because we'll be also adding the points.
So
So I think his team, and there are a lot of teams working in Bangalore, out of Bangalore, who are creating a lot of agents, which are going to be, become part of the ecosystem or the agent marketplace, whatever we are calling about. Apart from that, as I mentioned, we have ePlan, and there are a lot of companies who are coming together on these ecosystems. ePlan was something which we showed in the Hanover, so I just mentioned it, but it is a growing ecosystem. So there will be agents manufactured by us. There will be agents from all the other companies, and they will all kind of, collaborate with each other.
So you are hosting it in your servers in Siemens or in Microsoft Windows?
No, it is on our servers only right now.
You can interact more during the breaks, no? They are available, okay?
So Microsoft's role is limited to LLM.
Sorry, wasn't I be part of the question?
Sure. Please.
Yeah, so on Edge, what we are doing is all on-prem, and we started to kind of course use LLM now. I mean, we don't have any kind of released ones, but it's an internal in-house projects right now. And of course, we are looking at the Hugging Face, all the models available at open source, and evaluating them, how we can actually deploy at the edge, and especially on the Red Hat technology, looking at the OpenShift AI and VLLMs, what is provided, so as we can use them. And that's where we are, but we don't have anything which we have released to the market yet.
I would like just to add something as we are talking about Hugging Faces. In Hugging Faces, there is a catalog of open source models that are specifically qualified by Red Hat across several specific criteria to help you go straight to something that is already validated for you guys. And this is, of course, free. This is on Hugging Faces.
Thanks a lot. Before I conclude the session, I'd like to give a good amount of thanks to all the panelists who have been very patient in answering all the questions. Before I have some announcements to make. We have lunch counters, one here and one in where you had the tea stall, so people can go in both the places for lunch. And as I mentioned in the morning session, we have 3 things going on in the afternoon post-lunch. We have sessions in this hall, conclave hall, and also roadshow by SMART. So please choose what you feel convenient to you guys. And then also we have planned a networking session after the day, 5:30 to 6:30, followed up by cocktails and dinner. So you have a long day, so please plan to stay for cocktails. Also network with the people, okay? Thank you all. Bye.